fixing a MacBook. Let's work on fixing a MacBook as the world appears to burn around us, and realize that there are some things that I simply can't control, and there's not really much I can do about. So I work on the part of the corner of the world where I can make a positive difference, can make something a little bit better, and just keep chipping away at that, because the whole clusterfuck of what's going on in the United States right now, I got no answer for that. All right, so first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab myself a magnet. And once I have a magnet, I'll have a place to put the screws. Make it easier to open the machine. Keep track of the screws in the machine. Make sure you put them all back in the right space. Because when you put the screws back in the right space, it makes the customers happy. It makes the customers feel like they're getting what they pay for. You always want to make sure you give the customers what they paid for. We'll go from there. I'm going to cut the stream a little short today because I'm not feeling well. So I'm not going to be here for a very long period of time. So we're just going to open the bottom of this MacBook Air. It looks like we got an A1466 here, and we're going to open it up and get started. Lewis America's going insane. I don't think it's all of America. I just think it's I really don't want to pull an Apple here. But you know when Apple says like it's a small percentage, I really do kind of wonder if it's a small percentage, you know? It seems like a small percentage. It's just the loud part. The loud part. So you got the crazy people, like a couple of crazy people from every corner of America. And then when they kind of converge, it may seem like it's all of America when it's actually just, some of the crazy ones. My personal favorite part of what happened yesterday was there was this one woman from Knoxville, Tennessee. I was giving my friend so much shit because he's from Knoxville. He's actually way more liberal than even I am. He moved here, but I was giving him some shit yesterday. It's like, were you there at the Stop the Steal rally? Anyway, he's going to kick me in the dick. Man, I was being an asshole to him. But anyway, so she's like, I got maced. What were you doing? We're storming the Capitol. It's a revolution, and they maced me. It's like, yeah, they fucking should mace you. You ain't supposed to storm the Capitol, bitch, unless you prepared. Wear some goggles or some shit. Damn. You ain't know how to do a revolution for shit. You know who's really fucking pissed off watching all this stuff? You know who's got to be really pissed? Seriously, honestly, has got to be really just fucking angry at everything? ISIS. Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda. However the hell you pronounce it. They got to be pissed. Think about it. Because this whole time you're spending all this time, all this effort, all this money on this outlandish shit to get a terrorist attack in, and all the effort and research and time and shit that they put into it, and they probably never realized it was this easy. You see, my overhead camera doesn't want to turn on. I think it's doing. Hello, little overhead cam. Hi, little overhead camera. Why don't you? There you go. Turn on. Hey, they got to be just looking at this going, damn, we missed our fucking chance, man. If I knew it was that easy. No, see, if it was that easy to storm the Capitol, man, right to repair would have passed 5 years ago. I'd have went in there and... No, I'm kidding. I'm just any FBI domestic terrorist people watching. That was a joke. That wasn't real. Man, we'll just edit that out of the real version of this video. But let's... So let's see what's going on with this MacBook. So, one of the first things I usually do is I unplug the battery. Always unplug the battery. Always start with unplugging the battery because I want to know how much power the board is taking, not how much power the MacBook is taking. And do this. Plug this in. And it's taking 36, 46, 35, 40, 30, 40, 20, 40, 20, 40, 20, 40. Now let's see if anybody in the audience has an idea as to what's causing that. John says, I'm surprised the cops didn't actually use real guns. They breached a secure building with classified info. That's the thing. There's a lot of information in that building that really should not be made so easily available that people probably have their hands on right now. And, I was talking with a friend, and, she was saying, I can't believe they let them do this. And I was saying, I can't believe they let them fuck up so many areas in Manhattan and Portland and so on and so forth. And her point, which is a fair point, which is, there's... I'm not saying that that's okay, but there's more important shit in the fucking Capitol building than there is in a Macy's. Again, I'm not saying it's right to loot the Macy's, not saying it's right to fuck up the Korean barbecue place at the end of the block, but you know, there's a degree of importance in the stuff that you have there. Jay, okay, so that's a question that if you called into the store, I would probably give a polite answer to, but because you're doing it on my stream and Twitch chat, just delete shit. Like I get this question all the time. You know, my computer is telling me I don't have enough space to back up my stuff. What do I do? Like, delete your fucking porn collection. What do you want me to do? Like, I don't know how to answer that question. If you have a very large porn collection, then you should probably just pick and choose, or buy an external hard drive to put your porn collection on so that you can use your computer again. But yeah, I can't choose for you which porn you're gonna have to choose if you want to keep more Brianna Banks or Katya Casa. I can't make that decision for you. I know if it was my porn collection, what I would delete first if I needed room on my computer. But I can't make that decision for you. So you're going to have to choose if your machine says, I don't have enough memory to back something up, whether you want to delete your Katya Casa porn or your Brianna Banks porn. You know, that's not my decision to make for you. Okay, so we're going to get the board out of the case. Let's see if anybody answered. Everybody has said that there's, okay, so half right. So someone said PP bus shorted, that's half right. No, a PP bus G3 hot short on this machine would result in either A, it taking 200 milliamps steadily, because it would provide a steady state 200 milliamps. The ISL 6259 is quite capable of providing more power than any of the other chips in the machine that are going to turn on, turn off, turn on, turn off. So it would give you a steady state 200 milliamps, or the fuse blows, in which case it takes 0 milliamps because the fuse blows. So if the fuse for PP bus G3 hot is still good, then it'll deliver a steady state 200 250 milliamps, and if the fuse is blown, then it will deliver 0. But what we're getting is 20 to 45, which means it's going to be something upstream, one of the chips that provides a lower amount of power than what is powered by what the ISL 6259 and the PP bus G3 hot creation circuit can provide. That is short circuited. That is turning itself on and off, on and off, on and off. Katya stays, and that's a man of taste right there. That is a man that has good taste in porn. No. So we are going to. I know, that's such a not friendly customer service answer. It's the truth, though. It really is. Like, the shittiest part, I shouldn't say the shittiest part. There's a bunch of other shitty parts in this job. Let me correct myself. One of the crappier parts of this job is, like, sitting with someone that is kind of semi-computer illiterate and answering a lot of questions like this. Like, what is taking up so much space on my computer? I don't fucking, like, it's your stuff, man. I don't know. I could tell you, like, the pictures folder has this much. Why are my pictures 80 gigabytes? This makes no sense. I don't know. Why do you take so many fucking pictures? Now, obviously, again, when it is a customer, like, I'll temper myself. But, like, I don't fucking know. I don't know what's on your computer. Yeah, I'm letting off some steam here. I'm just letting off some steam because that, again, when it's a customer walking in the store, I put on my happy face. How can I help? All right, let's take a look. Let's go through your folders with you. Let me go through every single one of your files with you. Let's look at your bar mitzvah and all that other stuff for a half hour, 45 minutes, try to find it. But I don't know. I don't know what's on your computer. I don't know. And that's how you alienate your Twitch chat audience, by taking out your frustration on them. This is why I'm not a professional streamer. This is why I suck. Guys. Okay, let's... So what we're going to do is, before I even check for shorts, I'm going to use my eyes. Because again, I don't want to use my brain. Using my brain takes too much work, and honestly, I don't have much of my brain left. So I'm just going to look through the board and see if there's anything obvious here. Obvious. And if there's something obvious, then I won't have to actually do work. Aha! Aha! Alright. We'll make a mental note. A mental note of what we have over here. I'll probably just run up replacing that stuff. and you. I'm going to guess that it's this. It's not going to be this. It's going to be this. So this power supply. Now, I think that power supply is for the PP1V05 rail, I think. Either that or it's for the memory. I should know. Honestly, I should have this memorized. The fact that I don't have this memorized is a fucking shame. It's pathetic. Like, for the amount of times that I've worked on this exact same board over and over and over again, the fact that I don't know this is really just shameful. Like, I'm making fun of somebody for not knowing where certain stuff is on their computer, but I don't know what this chip is for after dealing with this board for like 7 years. This is that's 6 years, not 7, but still. Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing. That's karma. That's what we call karma here. That is karma. All right, so we're going to take a look at this chip. See what it's for. U7600. Yep, this is for the PP. This is for the PP1V05SO power rail. And our corroded cap is C7615. C7615 is the voltage reference. PP1V05SO VREF to ground. That cap actually goes between here and here, which ties to ground. So that's a capacitor between a voltage reference pin on the chip and ground. So probably PP1V05SO. It's giving us an issue because of that minor corrosion over there. And then also there's going to be the stuff, these resistors by here, which are probably not going to be for anything important. Alright, so we're going to go down here. You got a couple of resistors along the bottom. What are you all for? Let's see. What does this say? That's for something for the camera, something for the camera, and something for the camera. All right, so I don't give two shits about the camera. I care about the CPU turning on. Who cares about the camera? This computer actually has a piece of tape over the camera, so we could sell them that corrosion as like an upsell or something. I can make it so that you don't even need to have this thing in front of your camera anymore, and you won't know that and you won't even know it. Nobody will know that your camera doesn't work besides you. And you won't have to have this crappy looking piece of tape over there anymore. Oh, really? You can do that for me? Yeah. How? Well, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to be too lazy to fix your camera circuit. And as a result of being too lazy to fix your camera circuit, it's not going to work. Hey, you don't want a working camera? I don't want to troubleshoot your camera circuit? Come on. Eh? No? Not 5-star? Okay, fine. I'll fix the camera. Said he can put a piece of tape over it. It's a damn waste of 3 resistors, though. That's what that is. That'll be a waste of 3 resistors. But I'll do it to make you all happy. I'll do it to make you happy. How about it? How about it? Oh, man. I remember working on this machine. This was about 5 or 6 years ago, back when I was alone and I was the only one here doing all the board repairs. And like at one point, I don't know what it was. I was just mentally crashing, and I just needed to go home. I needed to go home. And I knew this person wanted this shit back immediately, but everybody always wants their stuff back immediately, and there's no way to ever take off when that happens. And this is a difficult field to hire for, because there's not a lot of people that know how to do this. You know, everybody wants on-the-job training, which is kind of like code for pay me for 6 months and figure out if I suck or not at the end. Do you want to gamble and figure out if I suck at the end of 6 months? It's like, yeah, great. Bam. So so I was at work. It was about 1 or 2 in the morning, and this person was actually waiting for everything to be working, and I knew they were up. So I give a call and say, I actually was working on the webcam circuit afterwards, and then I noticed there was a little piece of tape in the webcam. So I call and I said, so, I have a question for you. Now, I'm able to get it to work, but here's the thing. I see you got this piece of tape on your webcam. You keep this computer really clean. That kind of makes it look a little messy. And she's like, yeah, I agree. I don't want these things turned on. Here's what I can do while I'm inside the computer. I can actually make it so that the webcam cannot be turned on, even by the NSA. And she's like, really? I'm like, yeah. I just removed the freaking. I just removed the chip, and and I was done, and I went home. I would have probably stayed up until 3 or 4 o'clock troubleshooting that because she needed it back immediately. I still feel guilty about that. Like 4 years later, good 4. Actually, no, this is 5 years later. Yeah, because it was, like, technically I helped her out. Technically I made it work a little nicer the way that she wanted, but it was because I wanted to go home. It was because I wanted a fucking break. I'm human. I want a break. That computer does not have a webcam. To this day, that computer does not have a webcam. And it never will have a webcam because I removed all the stuff that's necessary for it to have a webcam. Alright. So it's interesting. This cap was a corroded piece. Yet this actually did not have a pad here. So I'm probably gonna... Let's see if I can creatively scrape this. Already did, Stormic, already did. But that was one of the things that I learned from some of the other people that work here. Like, there are times where I would absolutely where a tech will drive themselves out of their mind rather than just pick up the phone, you know? Like, let's say you're working on a data recovery and you're able to get everything besides data in this, like, one folder that is for a specific, that let's say, is on this one part of the drive. You could do one of two things. You could spend 6 weeks of your life trying to figure that out, or you could pick up the phone and call the customer and say, hey, so I got some good news and I got some bad news. The good news is I can get 99% of your stuff. Bad news is the stuff that's in, like, folder B is giving me some issues. And you go, oh yeah, the stuff in folder B, those are just like all that is just junk. That's just stuff from my, those are just like pictures of my ex-wife. Honestly, I'm probably better off without them anyway. So yeah, I don't need that. And it's a good thing to do, because imagine if you actually spend 6 weeks of your life doing work that not only it wasn't necessary, but is actually work that would have, just brought back something that's actually bad. There's a lot of, and that's a lesson that I learned a little far in. Is sometimes the desire to just completely and utterly be left alone as a technician winds up causing us to socially isolate ourselves to the point where we wind up doing way more work than we actually needed to, or than we even should. Alright, so that's going to be ready at this point. Let me just give it some more light so you can see. I remember that was one of the bikes that I got. I was about to get this bike, and it was a delay on getting one of my earlier bikes. And here's the interesting thing is they said that one of the things that you screw the bottle holder or whatever into on the middle of the bike was stripped on that frame. So they were going to wait for a new one. And I said, well, I'm going to put a battery there, so I don't give a shit if that's stripped, because I'm never actually going to use it. Like, you sure? I'm like, I will never use that. Like, I mean, if I had to wait an additional 5 minutes, this wouldn't be worth it, much less, a week or so. And the guy's like, all right, sure, cool. I don't know, Caritas. That's one of those questions that's almost impossible to answer without trying it. Social isolation is so 2020. Yeah, it kind of is. I'm putting that resistor at an angle because the pathway leading from here to here is actually much healthier than this piece of shit pad ever will be again. And it's fine. It's not hurting anything that I'm having it soldered to the pathway that I scraped open rather than having it soldered to the pad that's right above it. It's actually closer now. Just finalize that connection over there. And beautiful. Beautiful. Alright, next up is going to be working on this section of the board down here, right by the webcam chip, because I'm going to be nice and give them my webcam. When they chip everyone via the vaccine this year, will it be PP Bus? See, now I see why your name on Twitch is Dr. Stupid. I'm not probably taking the vaccine when it first comes out because A, in New York City, in my demographic, according to NYC Health's own GitHub, people in my demographic, 25 to 34 with no pre-existing conditions, there's been 5 deaths. And B, I feel more comfortable taking something once it's at version 2 or 3. It's one of those I'll take it after you things. I'm not anti-vaccine, but I'll take it after you. Again, version 2, version 3, something like that. But there was some of the theories people have are so fucking stupid. Like there was this one set of anti-vaxxers that were looking at the vaccine and they were spreading this thing where they said this is the circuit, this is the chip that they're putting inside the COVID vaccine, and it's a fucking guitar pedal. It's like a Boss. It's a schematic for some Boss guitar pedal. I forget what if it was a flanger or something like that. But they're so fucking dumb. That was painful. That hurt. See, that's what happens when you have schoolings for 14 and 13 years where they force you to memorize a bunch of dates and other crap and never actually learn something don't learn anything that matters or will help you in life. What happens? You get people that are that stupid. Can't be mad at that point. If it was a reverb chip, see, if it was a reverb chip, then I would have taken the vaccine. Because if they're putting reverb chips into the vaccines, can you imagine if anytime I wanted, I could just make it sound like I'm evil, and there's a chamber behind me or something, like the Wizard of Oz? But I think it was a schematic for some flanger or something. That's weak. Who the hell wants to get injected with a schematic for a flanger? I'm really curious what part of the U.S. those people come from as well. Or if it is from the U.S., because if I do move my business and myself to another part, I really want to make sure that if I do move, I move someplace that doesn't have those people. By those people, I mean people that look at a schematic for a Boss guitar pedal and say this is the chip that they're putting in you with the COVID vaccine to track you, as they're showing me a schematic for a guitar pedal. That's... like, I want to know where'd you come from? You know, where are you? What town do you live in? Oh, okay. All right, cool. Okay, and where do you eat? Oh, okay, cool. All right, so these are all vectors for transmission of stupidity. And then avoid it. Avoid it like the plague. I want a wah pedal in my vaccine. Maybe. I will take a reverb pedal. You could sell me on getting the vaccine if it comes with a reverb pedal, but not a flanger. Any of that crap. Definitely not a pitch pedal. That's just lame. Okay, come on. Scrape. It looks like this one resistor is really not going to have any place to go back onto. Making a no webcam call again, aren't we? Okay. I have a fiberglass pen, but it's... I mean, it's too big for this area. Also, this fiberglass pen leaves so much shit on the board. Everybody says I should use a fiberglass pen instead of using my what I usually use, which is an X-Acto knife. But look at all this look at all the dirt that the fiberglass pen leaves in the board. It's horrible. And it scrapes too large an area. I guess if it gets the job done. But still. Look at all that. It's disgusting. So dirty. That's from my fiberglass pen XPWR. That's why I prefer to use the X-Acto knife to scrape on the board. Someone said, what happened in DC? I don't watch the news. Well, I imagine you don't watch the news because you're tired of hearing bad news about things that you can't really do much about. And if that's the case, I don't see how I can make things any better for you by telling you what happened in DC. So I'm going to do the nice, polite thing and not inform you. And allow you to continue to live in ignorance, in blissful ignorance. Ah, shit. That little resistor ran away, but it's not going to run away for long now, is it? Nope. Not for long. You can also say expire. Huh? I don't get it. You can pronounce XPYR as expire. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, that really reads out as expire, or XPYR. I don't think I'll be able to pronounce your name properly. Yeah, the fiberglass pen is really, it's too broad. It's way too broad. This is why I wind up just using an X-Acto knife to scrape, or the soldering iron. It's easier to scrape the one specific point that I want to scrape with a knife. How hard do you find customer product service people to hire at your shop? Oh, it's very difficult. It's incredibly difficult, and this is it's a hard thing to do. Because you're going to have a lot of people that show up that are completely and utterly clueless and hopeless, that don't know anything. Then and then you may have some people show up that are like, may be able to learn it if you train them completely from scratch. Like, here's what a multimeter is, here's how you use a multimeter, here's what a short is, here's what Ohm's law is, and all that stuff. But if you go that route, you're gonna be waiting at least 6 months, maybe 4 to 6 months, to figure out if the investment has any chance of repaying itself, and that's no fun. Yeah, I did this video a while back where I was saying it was a long-winded way of saying, don't call me a good person. I'm probably a bigger piece of shit than you are when it comes to anything. Most of what I do that is good in life, most of the things that I do that can be construed as good are typically for a self-serving reason, or it serves me and others at the same time. And when it comes to employee pay, when I find people that are good, I don't pay them a lot of money because I'm this kind-hearted, loving, caring, socialist, social democratic gentleman or anything. I'm a greedy piece of shit like anybody else. I don't want anybody stealing them. You know how miserable it is to train someone from scratch? Or to find someone who can do the job halfway fucking decent? It's a nightmare. It's an absolute and utter nightmare. Train wreck. And you can easily spend a lot of time on someone. You can spend a good 2 or 3 or 4 months, and 2 months in, they can't even spot corrosion. It's hard. It's a really difficult. This is a difficult field to hire for it. So, when I find someone who's good, I hold on to them for dear life. Yeah, if you want them, you're gonna have to outbid me, and best of luck to outbid me. You ain't outbidding me easily. It's gonna be. I created cheat sheets for new hires to learn product terminology, but they need to pick up the phone more and answer more emails. What kind of business do you have, Dr. Stupid? Oh, Dr. Genius. So we have Dr. Stupid and Dr. Genius. Is there any relation? Are these two sides of the same coin? Or, one of the things that I've done is I've tried to create as much of a database as humanly possible. So, like, literally every problem on every year and model is in a database. And then there's a canned response that goes along with it. And what drove me nuts is after I created a database with every single year, every single model, every single problem, and a canned response for every single one, is when I would have people that still didn't know how to respond to tickets, or that would, leave emails sitting there for 2 or 3 days unresponded. That started to drive me nuts. And again, once you have that happen for enough time, it's just like you find someone who's able to handle everything, and you want to keep them. No, I didn't, Vince. I wished. Fuck. Alright, I'm fairly certain this is going to turn on now, but I'm just going to go take a nice little comb through the board, make sure there's no other corrosion on it, and then we'll see what's going on with it. See if we have something that's finished. Alright, let's see. So we're just going to take a nice little walk through the board. Looks like I've got some poop over there. Alright, I'm glad I did a walk through the board because I would have missed the poop. You can't miss the poop. I actually put together a guide to try and teach people how to recognize when there is poop on the board. You can see that guide. It is present at wiki2.rossmangroup.com. That's wiki2.rossmangroup.com. That is a lot of the information that I use to train new people on how to do this job. So if you're having trouble training people, you're welcome to add to it. There's a lot of customer service stuff that I don't have there because it's very specific to my business. How to diagnose a board that's failing is really, it's a simple process. Like, my way of doing it will make sense for many people, but I can't tell other people how to do business, so I don't have a lot of customer service stuff on there. But yeah, it looks like we have gotten rid of anything that looks even slightly or mildly corroded on there. And we're gonna see if this turns on now, which it probably will. Let's face it. Let's face it. I mean, you know, you guys know who's fixing this. We don't need to double check our work. You know it's gonna work? That's right. Let's see what we get. Plug this in. And give me 500 milliamps, baby. 500 milliamps. 500 milliamps. 1, 2. You motherfucker. You piece of fucking piece of shit. You fucking piece of shit. Let's try that again. That's why we have an editing. That's why I paid $290 for DaVinci Resolve, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I paid $280 for DaVinci Resolve. Life doesn't have an edit button, but YouTube does. But YouTube does. Leave what in? Leave what in, Dr. Stupid? It is unless you use Linux, in which case if you want to edit using any codec on Earth, you need to pay for it because it comes with no codecs. It literally comes with nothing. There's nothing you can edit in DaVinci Resolve stock. I sat there trying to transcode a clip over and over and over again using FFmpeg to every single format I could think of. It doesn't support shit in Linux unless you pay for it. So yeah. DaVinci Resolve is such good software, I have no shame in paying for it. It's good. It's quality enough that like the people who made that software deserve to get paid. It's not like Vegas where it fucking crashes all the time. Vegas, they don't deserve to get paid. I've paid for Vegas 2 or 3 times and I feel like a moron that I didn't just Pirate Bay it or something. That shit crashes constantly. DaVinci is pretty stable. I like DaVinci. It's good software. It works the way it's supposed to. It's quality. Vegas is a mess. You need to do something about your girl. She's streaming right now by looking through some trash and looking to take home some of the stuff. No! Damn it! No. Every day I talk with Erica about taking crap out of the apartment. She does. So Erica does this thing. There's this one. She kind of like grazes around the neighborhood and she finds garbage and then she just brings it home and she's like, look at what I brought home. It's kind of like what Mr. Clinton used to do with mice. Like, you know, Mr. Clinton would because he loved me, because he loves me, and he's a dedicated and adorable little kitten. He would go outside, you know, not go outside, because he would go around the apartment and he would find a mouse, he would kill it, and then he would leave it right next to my pillow. So I'd wake up right next to a dead mouse. And I didn't have the heart to tell him, like, you know, I know you had good intentions, but no, fuck that. I don't want to be near a mouse. Go away. Go away. Yeah, Real Biscuit, but you can't use any real audio plugins with it. It's useless for that. Again, it's free. Like, you're getting what you pay for. But anyway, the point there is, and Erica kind of does the exact same thing. Like, she finds all of this shit on the street. Like, we have a dryer that doesn't even work. We have furniture, all sorts of shit. I can't walk from one end of the apartment to the other, so I have to do this martial arts practice at home. My teacher will give me homework. And I'll have to do it at home. I don't even have room without bumping into shit because of all the crap that she's brought home. Someone go over to that channel and tell her whatever it is, throw it away. I tell her every other day I'm going to go to 1-800-GOT-JUNK and take all this shit and toss it in a fucking bin. We have a dryer that's been there for like 8 months that doesn't work, that hasn't moved. It sat in the same spot for 8 months. Take this shit and get it out of here. Get it out of here. Alright, let's see if this turns on. Give it a second. In new news, this is breaking news, by the way. New news. I just need to let you know. If you're in New York City and you're a personal trainer, hit me up. Let me know. We're looking to hire a new one. The old one is going to be permanently fired. That's breaking news here. So that's about it. We're gonna. All right, back to this. Let's see how many amps this thing takes. See how many amps this thing takes. Come on, give me 500 milliamps. Oh, come on! You were so close to 500 milliamps. What the fuck? It, ah! Come on! This bullshit. I think 12 volts went to the CPU at this point. Man, that's painful. I don't remember Ken because I get 18,000 comments a day. I don't know. People tell me to do shit all the time. Half the time they tell me to do shit, they're just trolling. I've kept what I've gotten, but I'm not buying more. I'm afraid to buy more because everything is kind of a bubble right now. I'm very afraid to buy more because everything appears to be a bubble at the moment. All right, so let's see if this is... Thank you, though. Let's see. All right, so that is ground. Because that side where the cap was corroded looked nasty, so I thought maybe that wouldn't be ground. Let's see. Where's the typical corrosion go? It goes on pin 8 of U1950. That's not corroded. This resistor that was corroded over here. What are you for? What is this corroded shit here for? It's lovely Planet Fitness on 35th Street. Oh, fuck off. Fuck you. There's no. You don't tell me get the fuck out of my chat. Tell me to go to Planet Fitness. Are you fucking kidding me? I almost got kicked out of one in Hanoi Fall, around the Hanoi Falls area 5 years ago when I was teaching with Jessa. You can't make noise. Like, they don't allow you to lift weights. It's part of their policy. I'm not even trolling. You're not allowed to lift weights there. If lifting weights is frowned upon. You can't actually do anything. Okay, that's a resistor to ground. And that resistor to ground over there that was corroded. Don't get me wrong. Planet Fitness, if they didn't have that bullshit rule, it wouldn't be a bad gym. And the thing about Planet Fitness is that there's one everywhere. So even if I'm in the middle of bumfuck nowhere in some town with my friend who is so far in the middle of nowhere that she has like coyotes and foxes going to her backyard, that I could find a Planet Fitness. And a Planet Fitness is better than nothing. So if I haven't packed any resistance bands and I haven't packed anything that I can use and I'm going to be up there for a week, you know, it's better than nothing. Or it would be better than nothing if you didn't get kicked out for using the facility. Because when people lift weights, they make noise. That's part of the way this works. But they are... I haven't been to the gym that Dr. Evil and I used to go to since March. Why is there a resist? Oh, that's one of the resistors I chipped off, and it was sitting between two pins of this chip. That doesn't look like anything got onto this chip. Come on, bro. Dead CPU. I could realistically keep troubleshooting this, but I know that I'm going to find dead CPU. RTC resistors over there are spotless. U1950 is spotless. When this most likely send 12 volts to the CPU on the PP1V05 line. So where 1.05 volts was supposed to go, we're probably getting, we probably got 12, and rest in pieces of shit, this. So that's about it for today. You likely did not learn anything from watching this board repair since I failed. Not only did I fail to fix it, I also failed to record it. So when I upload this to YouTube, I'm going to be uploading the stream, which is going to look like shit. But, oh well. Wait. Oh well. That's all you get for today. And I'm out of here at the moment. I will see you all later. I'm not feeling as well as usual, so that's about it for me. See you all later, and bye now. Hit the stop streaming button, and we get out of here. I already had it, Dr. Stupid. I already had it.